Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics. So, for a party that bangs on about not wanting immigrants, Reform UK doesn't half have a casual attitude to immigration with their own upper echelons. Richard Tice, the deputy leader of the party, has just announced he's going to become an immigrant, part-time immigrant. The icing on top is that he's going to be living in a Muslim Arab country. And the cherry on top is that he appears to have no intention of learning the language or integrating into the culture. You couldn't make it up, could you? And the casual hypocrisy on immigration doesn't end there. Frankly, far from being anti-immigration, Reform UK is actually the party of immigrants. Just rich immigrants, that's all. But first, for daily political commentary, please hit the subscribe button so you stay notified. So, what's going on here then? Richard Tice, Deputy Leader of Reform UK, and as an MP, someone with responsibilities in this country, moving to an Arab country, thousands of miles away. Yeah. Being more specific, he says he's going to split his time between the UK and Dubai. But that still means he's going to be spending an unspecified but presumably significant amount of time about 4,000 miles away from Britain, whilst apparently still serving the needs of his constituents. Maybe Tice felt the need to play catch-up with his friend and party leader Nigel Farage, who has been making a lot of foreign trips since becoming an MP. In fact, his foreign excursions actually increased since winning his seat in the election. So Tice has obviously thought, I'll show you how to spend time out of the country. I'm just going to spend about half the time living in Dubai. The reason for this change in residency, by the way, is that Richard Tice's partner, the acerbic so-called journalist Isabel Oakeshott, the one whom Matt Hancock was stupid enough to trust with a lot of confidential records and then learned his lesson the hard way when she leaked a load of it in the press for money. She has moved to Dubai where, despite sharing Reform UK's supposed disdain for Islam and immigration, she seems happy to be an immigrant herself in a Muslim country. So Tice has said he will be spending time in Dubai, at times to be with Oakeshott, and sometimes she will visit him in Britain. In justifying spending time living in a country thousands of miles away, Tice, who insisted he is still committed to his constituents, said, and I quote, "We are spreading our international reach," as if his living in Dubai part-time is somehow part of an international political strategy. How does that work? Is Richard Tice seriously trying to tell us that he sees himself in the role of missionary now? Is he going to persuade people in Dubai to knock off all that Islam stuff? Is that what he's saying? How exactly does Reform UK decide to spread an international message when actually the very name of the party screams nationalism, not internationalism, and that they've decided to start in a country whose very core culture they spend almost all of their time attacking? Incidentally, although the report doesn't make this clear, I don't think Oakeshott intends to learn the language or integrate into the culture either, which actually should be a gift to any journalist who can be bothered to even half-arse their jobs. Next time anyone from Reform UK goes on about learning the language or integrating, they should ask how Richard Tice's Arabic is coming along and if he's learned the UAE anthem yet. It's a very interesting anthem. An anthem which puts the Quran at the centre of their culture, just in case Tice was confused about that. And according to the article, Tice dug himself even deeper with his comments. He first of all said that his family built the first ever skyscraper in Dubai in the mid-70s. So it's like, so you're just emphasising the fact that you're not just very wealthy because you built up wealth. You came from money. He's not made anything of himself. He inherited wealth just like everyone else. Then he said that the UK under Labour is going to hell in a handcart. And so smart people leaving the country. He said that. So is he now saying that his partner left the country because she didn't like the UK? And he wants to be associated with that sentiment and even join in, does he? Because that's what it sounds like. It's one thing to say things in the country can be improved, even a lot. Yeah, we all think that. But it never fails to amaze me just how easily Reform UK get to basically say that their country is crap and still claim to be patriots. And yeah, if anyone else talks about wanting to make this country better, which we have no intention of leaving, apparently we're talking the country down. A real patriot wants their country to be better, but they still have regard for it. Oakeshott herself apparently said that she moved to the UAE because it was the best place to educate her children. It offered endless opportunities and had a booming economy. That appears to be her words. And that's the killer line for me. Isabel Oakeshott, who, regardless of romantic entanglements with the Reform UK MP, is in her own right someone who spouts the same rhetoric. Immigration is bad, Arabs are bad, Islam's really bad. Yet, she thinks that a Muslim Arab nation is the best place in the world to educate her children. A place that has a culture very much at odds with British culture, she is saying is the best place to educate her children. She said that, her words. And that it offers endless opportunities and a booming economy. The words of the country's national anthem put the Islamic faith and the Quran at the heart of their national compass. So Oakeshott's position is that the best way to run a country is to base it around the teachings of the Quran. She's just said that. Maybe someone should ask Richard Tice what he thinks of his partner's change of attitude towards Islam and if she has persuaded him about it. Oh, and speaking of Immigration Reform UK, I see we had a resolution on the Pimlico plumber. Charlie Mullins, known as the richest plumber in Britain, said he was leaving the country. You know, if Labour win the election, I'm leaving the country. Labour won the election. Right, I'm off. I'm going. I'm off. Then he spent months popping up in the news, and I kept scratching my head and asking, is he struggling to pack his bags or something? He still seems to be here. Now it turns out he's decided to stay after all. Funny that. He's joined with Reform UK. Looks like he might even be one of their candidates for something. So again, Reform UK saying that they have absolutely no problem with immigrants or would-be immigrants, as long as they're rich. If you're rich, oh, you can live wherever you like, no problem. Their deputy leader's going to be a part-time immigrant. His partner's with an actual immigrant. Farage married an immigrant. The party is courting an immigrant for cash. But to give them their due, I suppose we could say they technically have reduced the number of immigrants by one, I guess. Because Mullins was about to become an immigrant, or so he repeatedly said for months on end. And Farage looks like he's persuaded him to become a Reform UK shill instead. So fair dues, they may be the party of immigration, but they can claim to have at least stopped one immigrant, assuming Mullins was ever serious about leaving in the first place. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe for further content. If you'd like to support the channel further, you can click the join button for memberships. Thanks for listening, and until next time, I'll see you later.